All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? I wanted to go ahead and do a video today because ultimately this is on Twitter, this is on Facebook, and this is on YouTube again. All three platforms that I have right now. All of which have had some animosity towards me from one direction or another. But it seems like I kicked another damn hornet's nest in the case of and I'll go ahead and put this comment up here because this is fake news. AOC didn't get arrested. But of course, AOC is out there and her little buddy. And in fact, how sad it was. This is how bad it was. AOC was never arrested. She was never put in handcuffs. It was all a publicity stunt, whatever. And it's kind of like a universally a joke. The uh, this shows you and why people still believe the media whenever they're trying to stir up some more pandemic bullshit out there. It's in the works and whatnot. Um, that and I'm not saying that there isn't any kind of flu or not, you know, cold type, bacteria out there that could get you sick, but it's definitely not on the pandemic level. And more than likely, these people that are probably more likely, passing any kind of this variant or whatever the hell it is, are the people who are vaccinated. And I'm just being real because normally we're not even flu season yet. We're not even in flu season. So shit's ridiculous. This will probably get me some sort of bullshit strike on YouTube. Don't care. But whenever you see these little publicity stunts, like with Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, which I kicked the damn hornet's nest because um, I don't even know what my initial comment was on Twitter, to be honest with you. I don't know what the initial comment was that actually set off all the little shills and set off whatever it was. It set them off pretty fucking bad because for the better part of a day, and then still they're probably still responding to me. To be honest with you, they're probably responding right now in her comment section while I'm making this video. And so, whatever it was, everybody was, well, I won't, nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. And so everybody is roasting her on Twitter because effectively there's a difference between being arrested, being detained, and being escorted, which is exactly what happened with Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. More than likely, some another staged event, huh? Well, I don't even know. It, it was stupid. It was really fucking dumb because, of course, the fucking Capitol Hill police are saying that she was arrested, but she wasn't. You could tell. You could watch the video. She throws up the fucking uh, power commie fist at the, during this. But she's trying to give everybody the impression that she's in handcuffs, which she was never in fucking handcuffs. And so nobody carries their hands behind their back like that. And it was fucking stupid. And the sheer fact that, this is the same people that are trying to make the case that, you're trying to convince a majority of the population that you're on their side, that you're trying to give them accurate information and you're trying to keep them safe. That's exactly what these propagandists are, trying to do. They're trying to gain, or what they should be doing. They should be trying to gain the trust of the population as a whole. It's the whole point of propaganda. What good is propaganda if the only ones investing in the propaganda are the propagandists who make the propaganda? They're the only ones investing in the shit anymore. We could sit there and see this with Russia and the Ukraine. And now that narrative of Russia and the Ukraine is now starting to shift to climate change. Now it's no longer Russia is the reason whenever the gas goes up. It's going to be because of Biden's policies, because he's doing it for your benefit, and the climate and the fucking heat wave, which whenever when I looked it up, the weather in the UK, and it said London was going to be at a 79 degrees, while the mainstream media is saying that it's at 104. So who do you trust? Who do you trust? Do you trust the mainstream media that consistently lies? Or do you trust the fucking meteorologists who are consistently wrong, usually about the weather? It's kind of a fucking conundrum at this point. But we can tell that they're already starting to line up some bullshit, basically to further bankrupt the country. Of course, you're going to start to have another pandemic. And to be honest with you, right now, my mom is sick right now with it's corona, I guess is what you would typically call it, but she has an infection of some sort. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know I didn't get VA XX, and I still haven't caught it. I still haven't caught it. So she didn't catch it from me. And if she didn't catch it from me, she had to have caught it from somebody else. And so, we're starting to see this being more of the trend. And at some point in time, people have to stop and pump the brakes. You're not being responsible at all investing in the propaganda. You're not being responsible just willy-nilly going ahead and believing everything in the mainstream media and trusting all the bullshit that's put out there every day. You're not being responsible. And in fact, the reason why we're in this situation of high gas prices and this large amount of inflation is that Americans are not acting responsibly. They're not taking personal responsibilities. It's not my job to make sure that you feel safe and secure. You know what I'm saying? That's not my job. And it's nobody else's. It's not any of your other fellows. It's your job to take personal responsibility and take care of yourself. But however, the left has been like losing. They lost on abortion. And they lost the argument for abortion for two reasons. They lost this argument. One is the late term abortion bills in New York that was being passed, up to the day of birth, I think. It was late term abortion all the way up until the day of birth. So you know that you're aborting a human being at this fucking point. It's not even, you can't even call it a clump of cells at this point. And this was, presented in New York, and this was presented in California, and it was presented in Virginia. And ultimately, that's what ultimately killed that was the first stone that was cast at abortion whenever they went that far. Then all of a sudden, they decided to go ahead and push these mandates with these, specific mandates. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody understands. The various then you don't believe in my body, my choice. You understand what I'm saying? So now you don't have that argument. Also, simultaneously, whenever you lost that argument of my body, my choice, whenever you've decided to go ahead and go past the point of where a human being, is got, more viability, and it becomes euthanasia. Whenever you go ahead and go past that point of, requiring IDs for this, for these mandates, then ultimately you've killed every argument, any potential argument that you've had for abortion, period. So, of course, you're not going to get anything. You couldn't have got it codified, even if Biden wanted to get it, which I don't believe Biden wanted to get it codified anyways. I don't believe Pelosi wanted to get it codified. I just think that they're sitting there pandering to their base, saying, oh, yeah, this is all AOC is doing. She's just pandering to the base. And so, you have these remedial protests. And, the support for pro-choice is marginalized now. And it's by their own doing. Anybody who would have came in as an independent, as an outside observer of the left, any kind of independent that would have probably participated in protecting that right to privacy, and that's ultimately what they would have been there for. They feel shafted by all these mandates, all the people who've lost their jobs, all the people that are sitting there looking at the inflation and looking at, the gas prices, don't care about Roe v. Wade. And this is why that base is marginalized by alienating everybody else and calling everybody else a Nazi that disagrees with you and, attacking them regardless on where it's at and trying to pretend like you're some sort of, extreme wealth of knowledge. It just goes to show you, you can go ahead and take a look at, you can go and look up right now, because Thor Love and Thunder was a Marvel movie, and it was completely fucking woke. And, I went to go see it opening weekend, and it wasn't that great. I know that you're going to have people over there that will just go ahead and watch it and say that it's great, but the movie was, ultimately not good. It had a great cast, had a lot of potential, but the movie just was woke trash, is what it was. And I'm going to call it woke trash. Well, you can sit there and see right now that it had a 67% drop off, which was the largest for every kind of Marvel movie. What's up, Scott? It was the largest drop off. So we could see that these identity politics are not winning any kind of favors from the left. So whenever you take a look at your mainstream media, which whenever you take in consideration, even by your own network and by your own viewership standards, uh, the confidence in the media is like 11%, I think, across the country that actually trust the media without any kind of real bias. Most of the people, you have some that kind of trust the media, and then most people don't trust the media at all. Did you hear they're changing the name X-Men to the Mutants? And I'm not surprised. They kind of changed around the X-Men quite a bit, so that's kind of like a uh, franchise that they tend to experiment with a lot. But yeah, I think I've seen the New Mutants, and it wasn't great. But just watching All in the Family. But yeah, what you're having now is the media, the mainstream media. So their confidence is dying off. Whenever you take a lot of these blockbusters, and they were comparing it with Marvel, and Marvel is pretty much the only thing really right now that's really drawing any significant money as it pertains to Hollywood. You'll have a Godzilla versus King Kong every now and again that comes out, but ultimately, that's all Hollywood has been really, capable of doing, is making money off these superhero movies, unfortunately, right now. So a lot of the genres are starting to kind of take a hit as people are just doing cash grabs. It's either remakes, reboots, or just straight superhero movies. You got a Fast and the Furious franchise, but that's almost dead too. So now that you have the propagandists in the mainstream media, they're starting to lose their appeal across society. I don't hear anybody talking about any of the bullshit that they're trying to sell you. Like, I guarantee you a lot of people don't know that, supposedly there's this big heat wave in the UK. And I still haven't seen it. They claim that runways are melting. It's the bizarre shit that the left always say. That the runways in the UK are melting so they can't leave the island. It's crazy fucking shit. And so whenever you have a consistency of lying and pulling these little publicity stunts, like being arrested, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did, and Elon Omar. And in fact, you know what the sad thing is nobody was even escorting Elon Omar. She just walked herself over there. Everybody was with AOC trying to get in the picture. That's where the cops were, because they wanted to be seen in the picture because they knew everybody was taking it. But it's a publicity stunt. She sits there and raises her hand up later on. If you're trying to pretend like you're handcuffed, don't raise your goddamn hand in the air. But everybody understood exactly what was going on. She wasn't in handcuffs. She wasn't arrested. And whenever you do these publicity stunts, this makes even less and less people have confidence. And people see you as a joke whenever you're sitting there trying to use this. And so ultimately, the she gets roasted all over Twitter, all over. And these are your peers. On Twitter is your peers. They're either in the mainstream media, they're either affiliated in Hollywood with the mainstream media, relying on some sort of clout based off of your political position in life. Are there YouTubers that cover the shit? You know what I'm saying? So this is your circle of people, and of course she was getting roasted. Everybody was making fun of her and mocking her. It's unfortunate that this person is in. You look at this person and you look at how ridiculous she acts, and she's not qualified for the position that she has at all. And how goofy and ridiculous her stuff is. Basically, they just hand feed her their own, you know, legislations that they're trying to pass. Apparently, AOC turned into, Houdini, and it was stupid, dude. And like I said, whoever it is, whoever her staffer is that runs the damn account, has been like all over the comment sections over there. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I'm sure they're replying to whoever the fuck, They were offended, dude. I've been attacked. I was getting it from all their sock accounts. I was getting it from all the fucking sock accounts. But I've had my share of love. I think that what ends up happening is whenever somebody sees it, you post a comment and it gets like 2 or 3 likes really quick, which my comment did for whatever reason. And the only reason that my comment got 2 or 3 likes is because everybody was going over there to see everybody shit. That's the whole reason I went over there, is to see how many people were, first to see the stupid excuse that she was going to say, and then see everybody roast her in the comments. It's the whole reason why I went over there. And so, ultimately, whenever you look at AOC and you look at these people, when you get 2 or 3 likes, and maybe a retweet. I don't know if anybody retweeted my tweet or not. Or I don't even know if it was exceptionally that good. I forgot what I put, to be honest with you. And it wasn't that important, or else I would have remembered it. But I might have put a meme with it or something. I don't remember. But all of a sudden, my shit starts blowing up with all these responses. And of course, there's no subscribers or followers to come off of these responses. And even generally, if somebody is that much of a damn AOC sycophant, they would have followed me just to sit there and see if I posted anything else, so they could just attack me on shit. I understand trolling, trust me. And so these are shills. That's what they are. And a lot of them are sock accounts. So they'll make a comment and a response to me that's completely fucking stupid. And the comments that he was sitting there trying to, oh, you're saying that she should have resisted arrest and hit the cop and, took his gun and shot people. No, I didn't say any of that stupid shit that you're making up and trying to put into my fucking mouth that makes you look like a goddamn psycho whenever you post this on the fucking forum. All I said is that nobody puts their hands like that. And if she was really trying to go ahead and, play it safe, she would have kept her hands up where the cops could see them, not behind her back near her butt, unless she wanted them to look at that big Latino booty, which I threw that in there because she just fucking went on that little fucking tirade. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe she's just trying to show off that big, juicy Latino booty or whatever the fuck, Latino booty. And I did say that, but that was after the comment. After that point, you've already committed. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these politicians don't have any confidence. Biden right now is at an all-time low. And supposedly this is the guy who got 81 million votes, which, I'm going to leave that for you to fucking decide. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to fuck with YouTube's retarded ass, stupid fucking, in terms of goddamn ridiculousness that you have on YouTube, that's completely fucking stupid. And this platform is losing traffic too, because people that get fucking that are constantly harassed by the community guideline strikes, fucking Karens that are in charge of writing out the goddamn community guidelines. Whoever you gave that fucking position to is definitely fucking not qualified for their position, just like AOC is not qualified for her position. But yeah, I'm just not even gonna fuck with it anymore because it's stupid, and this is why you lose traffic. This is why a lot of your channels are losing traffic, not just not just you guys here. I mean, yeah, we feel it a little bit more because of course, well, they took my fucking channel down, but. As a small, you used to be able to put out a video. It used to be able to go viral, and you used to get a lot of subs off of viral videos based on response from other YouTubers that went viral. You can't do this shit anymore on here. It's not designed to be conducive for the independent content creators like myself. And, so the traffic here is getting a little bit lower. I very rarely even get on YouTube, to be honest with you. And it's usually just watch a selected show or something. I've got a lot of movies on here. I still follow Hard Bastard, but to be honest with you, now that Soft Gentleman has went to Rumble, I'm actually watching him a lot more on Rumble. Why? Because I don't have to deal with the advertisements, the ads, and all the other bullshit. Plus, the Hard Bastard show, it's not even, it's, it doesn't even stay up on YouTube. So I would rather just watch it on Rumble. And that's with a lot of content creators. I'd rather watch their stuff on Rumble because there's no advertisements. I would rather watch the stuff on BitChute because there's no advertisements. YouTube, whenever you watch one of your videos, especially particularly people that I don't even understand. Like, there's people out here who have like 2 or 3 thousand subs. Why would you monetize your video if you only have like 2 or 3 thousand subs? For me, it would be hard to monetize my video with anything less than 10,000 subs. At 10,000 subs, I may consider it, but 2, 3,000, 4,000 subs, absolutely no fucking way I'm going to monetize my video. It wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't make any profit. Did you ever watch All in the Family, Maude, Good Times, Jeffersons? So yeah, back in the 80s, whenever they were out, I used to watch them. I've watched every one of those. But except for Maude, I don't think I've ever watched Maude. But with that being said, really at the end of the day, what you're seeing is a collapse in, you're going to end up seeing a collapse in Silicon Valley. Personally, to me, like I said, I've got Minds, I've got Gab, I've got BitChute, now I have Rumble. And I think that there's probably inevitably going to have to be, of just regular folks, just need to go to these other platforms and let these platforms probably eventually collapse, which is ultimately what's going to happen. Because ultimately, all I get on Twitter is like a bunch of internet thoughts that really follow me. It's like somebody trying to sell, and I've got like what, like over. So I haven't been on Instagram that long. I don't really even use Instagram that much, and I got like some 70 fucking I got some 70 fucking followers, and they're all these internet thought females that follow me and trying to sit there and sell their little fans only shit. And you know, whenever this video is posted, whenever my last video is posted, I guarantee you it's gonna be like some internet thoughts posting their fucking shit on the goddamn page. Like, look at my cooter on fucking Instagram or Snapchat or wherever the fuck they show their cooter at. And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. And that seems to be what Facebook is, nothing but spam. It's like, check out this and check out that. And, you get Titty City now going looking through the damn playlist on YouTube. You'll see all these little internet thoughts in their fucking shorts of them in a Spider-Man costume or them trying to twerk or whatever the fuck they do. And so it's like, this is what killed MySpace. It's what killed MySpace. Mostly, you know what I'm saying? People started to get turned off of MySpace and they started to migrate to other platforms. And now we see a lot of this shit going on YouTube. We see a lot of the same shit going on Twitter. And we see the same shit going on Facebook. We need a bunch of Archie bunkers in 2022. Right now, all we have are fucking Richard fucking us. And I seen Trudeau in his little Pee Wee Herman outfit, man. Andre. That shit was crazy. I mean, it's like these people understand, I think, that they're a goddamn meme. And I think that that's ultimately at the point of what they're trying to do is just live the goddamn meme life. And ultimately, for us, it affects us personally. It affects us personally, but they don't give a shit about that. Like I said, for the most part, I see these people. I don't even see Trudeau or AOC or Nancy Pelosi. I see these people as nothing more than proxies. Absolutely fucking proxies. They don't have any real fucking power. They have no real autonomy. They just go around and do this stupid shit. And the sheer fact that AOC is trying to sit there and claim that she was arrested and that she was, put behind. No, you wasn't arrested. Everybody knows this. And even if you was arrested, they're not giving you your phone back so you can make a tweet to say how you were fucking arrested. It's stupid. And so they really believe that you're this stupid to go ahead and invest and buy in on this. So ultimately what we're seeing is the collapse of basically a lot of these woke corporations, the leftist ideology that has infested itself in this country ever since 2008 and just kind of snowballed into what we have right now of people being more fake. People are understanding exactly how fake society really is at the end of the day. Or a number of people, a number of people that, you know, understand they can see through this shit and they are understanding that um this is all a bunch of this is really bad satire at the end of the day. And so it's just people are getting annoyed by it. So your propaganda is not having any more effect, whether it's through Hollywood, whether it is through the media, whether it's through politics. And this is why ultimately your Roe v. Wade, and they were sitting there talking, and I don't have an issue with gay marriage personally. To me, do I believe in gay marriage? No, I don't. I believe it's kind of fucking stupid, to be honest with you. I don't believe that there is a point for gay marriage other than the Democrats to go ahead and pander to the homosexual. Um, with that being said, I have friends that are gay, and I don't care one way or the other. I don't think that gay marriage is as significant of an issue as abortion. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend works for the third largest telecommunications company in the country. One of their employees transitioned, and everyone got an email saying, follow in line or get fired. And see, this shit, there, with them going this far overboard, and this is the issue with California right now. This is why California is probably legally the most inept state in the United States. As far as like from a legal position, legal comp, legal competence, California ranks dead last in the United States in legal competence. And most of your social media companies operate outside of California. And they're doing more harm right now for the homosexual communities, respectively, as individuals, mind you. I don't give a shit about your LGBTQ. I don't care, one way or the other. I think that they should be able, if you want to go ahead and donate to them, that's fine. But I don't believe that any government money should be going to facilitate these fucking people. I certainly don't fucking believe that we need a gay pride month. That being said, if you want to donate your money, go right ahead. I have no problem with homosexuals on an individual basis. As individual people, have no problem with them whatsoever. However, with that being said, you can't reason why homosexual marriage, and this is one of the things I got into with the Young Turks. You can't reason homosexual. There's no real reason why we need homosexual marriage. Oh, well, they need the tax breaks and all these benefits that the traditional. No, they don't. No, they don't, because they're not traditionally married couple. Now, you can have an opinion on that. And like I said, one way, I don't care that homosexual marriage is a thing. It's not that big of a deal to me. But the cynical way that you look at marriages and you try to pretend that marriage is something that it isn't, you can go ahead and look at back in the past and say, the reason that people got married is because one king was betrothed his daughter and then they would, no, that's not why fucking marriage. The reason why people got married and the reason why institution of marriage is that a man and a woman come together, they have a family, and it is for child rearing, for that nuclear family. That's the whole reason of fucking marriage. Unfortunately, homosexuals cannot reproduce. And so, yeah, that's the whole reason for marriage. Now, you could sit there and, cherry pick your little arguments, but they're your opinions, okay? You need more than an opinion to go ahead and make a conducive argument. It doesn't bother me that gay marriage is codified by the Supreme Court and people sit there and say, you have to identify them as being married. I don't have to identify as shit. I don't have to identify gay marriage as being a thing and treating them the same. If I choose to, I choose to, but I don't have to. You understand what I'm saying? And so Joe dies or steps down, Kamala Harris concedes, and Nancy Pelosi appoints Gavin Newsom. I think that's their plan. And that's not going to work. It's not going to work. They're lucky they're lucky that at this fucking point that we're not rioting in the streets much like Sri Lanka. Now, I can tell you what their plan is going to be. And I can tell you what I would like to see. Here's what their plan would be. The Republicans win the midterms. Absolutely. Massively. I don't think that they'll be able to keep the Democrats in house. They're not going to be able to pull this little shit of we're going to go ahead and skew the numbers, and these motherfuckers are going to continuously eat fucking crow, and just get it shoved back into their fucking face whenever they post on Twitter. It's going to get insane. It's going to get insane right before the primaries. They're going to be called out on anything and everything. And it's going to continue. This is what I think that their plan is. Pelosi is in power, so what I just laid out there can totally happen, and it would be the end of America. And that's not going to happen either. It's not. It's not going to happen without a major uproar. However, this is what I can see happening. The Republicans win massively, and they assume power in both House and the Senate. Immediately, they impeach Joe Biden. The media needs an impeachment of Joe Biden. Their fucking ratings are absolutely shit. This is why they're having to do these ridiculous, and it's one of the reasons why they do these ridiculous, over the top, ridiculous fucking stories, is because they don't know how to really do any real journalism. So they don't know how to, people are already understanding how fake these people are, and they're trying to keep people distracted from other shit. The Republicans win in a red wave election year. They take back the Senate, they take back the House. This would actually be good for the stock market, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Is if the Republicans retake the House and they retake the Congress and Joe Biden is in. Because what's inevitably going to end up happening is turnabout's fair play. Now they're going to sit there, they're going to sit on this election thing for right now, right? They're going to sit there and say, oh, well, you can't question election integrity and all this other shit. That's why my channel got taken off of YouTube. But what's going to end up happening is that they're going to, the Republicans are going to win in the landslide. Even the elitist people understand exactly what's going on. You can't stuff that genie back. You're already opened the Pandora's boxes. You're already seeing the effects going on. And I'm pretty sure that the effects going on in Sri Lanka and in the Netherlands, and the effects, are going to be eventually starting to spread. We've already seen what's happened in Canada. They can very well happen again. We already seen some of the similar things going on in Israel and in the UK and in New Zealand. So this isn't a marginalized thing. So what's going to happen is the Democrats will be replaced in the midterms. I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to put somebody like, this is what I think they're going to pick. I think that they're going to pick somebody like McConnell, but who my pick is Romney. They're going to put somebody like Romney in to take the place of Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Now, what's going to end up happening is they're going to impeach Joe Biden, and they're going to impeach Kamala. And they're going to sit there and do this big, and I mean, the narrative is already out there, mainly because we've already put it out there. So a lot of people will be vindicated on the internet. This wouldn't be the first time, as people are being vindicated right now because of the ivermectin stuff and the Hunter Biden stuff and the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I mean, we have a history of being accurate here, more accurate on the internet. We're better journalists anyways than anybody on mainstream media. All they can do is, create these narratives and talk about them. So with that being said, they're going to impeach Joe Biden. They're going to impeach Kamala Harris. Well, when you impeach a sitting president, and whenever you impeach the vice president, and maybe Joe Biden does, quote unquote, have a mishap. He is like 70 some odd years old, and then Kamala gets impeached. Doesn't really matter. Either way, there's going to be an impeachment of the whole administration. Well, then the Speaker of the House becomes president. Thus, I think they're going to try to shoehorn in a Mitt Romney. Could be Mitch McConnell. But Mitt Romney would be my odds-on favorite because Mitt Romney probably was really, really close at beating Obama in 2012. Uh, and so he was actually really like Obama should have really, it should have even been close with McCain and Romney. To be honest with you, there's no way that Obama shouldn't have had just an easy freaking Ronald Reagan like 400 and some odd to like 70, less than 100 from both. The sheer fact that they got over 100 is absolutely just says that the Democrats really haven't been the party that they've claimed that they've been for many, many years. Whenever you take in consideration that I think Ronald Reagan beat, um, who was it that he beat? I think it was Mondale. He beat like 525 to 13 or some ridiculous shit like that in the electoral vote. So I mean, something similar for Obama because whenever Obama was going up against McCain, McCain wasn't really, really a well-liked Republican, and Romney was more of a Democrat than he was a Republican. Republicans couldn't stand Mitt Romney. I myself voted for Gary Johnson in both elections, so there was no way the independents, were going to go out and vote for, a John McCain or a Mitt Romney. And the sheer fact that probably a number of the independents did vote for Barack Obama, but apparently it wasn't enough to have a landslide like Ronald Reagan or even George Bush Sr. did in their elections. And then before them, Richard Nixon. So apparently the country isn't at where the Democrats would like the country to be. So if the country isn't where the right now DC is run by the Democrats, they're run by a more fascist Democrat Party because the Democrats are essentially fascist, and they would like to take us into communism. You know what I'm saying? They are the fascists. The reason why we have a fascist economy is because of the Democrats. The reason why we have a fascist government is because of Democrat lawmakers, not because of Republican lawmakers. The Republican lawmakers are a byproduct of the Democrats. They're just a better party by default, ultimately, and this is ultimately why Republicans just tend to be better. But I think that the system of fascism just has to be scratched. And I think that the Democrat Party is ultimately going to go ahead and implode. And, with that being said, it's going to be interesting to see do I think that we're going to head into a theocracy? I believe that we're going to head into a theocracy to some level, and to some degree, we're going to head into a theocracy because a pendulum it doesn't never swing and stay in the middle. It always goes to the extreme opposite. And, it's no fault of the people who are now jumping on board with the Republicans and going to the extreme right. They see this as the counter to all the communists on the left, of them passing down mandates, of them passing these frivolous laws, of all this injustice, with like Andre Corbell's girlfriend here saying that you better address this person if you mispronounce somebody, we're going to go ahead and fire you and take away your livelihood. Well, then we're going to go ahead and take away your position of authority. And this is ultimately what this is happening. Andre's girlfriend may have been an extreme leftist. I think it's the Labor. Is it the Labor Party in are the conservatives actual like the Democrats of your parties up there? I forget which one it is, Andre. I know you got like a conservative in the Labor Party and whatnot, but your girlfriend may have been an extreme leftist. Don't know her, but let's say she was extreme leftist. Well, now all of a sudden, they say, oh well, you have to this is going to turn her off. And this is exactly what's happening. This is why I wouldn't want the left advocating for me on anything. You can't even advocate for the homosexual people and you're turning people to have more of a bad perspective of homosexual people. And it's not the homosexual people's fault. It's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? This is an issue of the Democrats just being too fucking abrasive to actually advocate for anybody civilly. Their arguments are fucking reduced and dumbed down to the lowest common denominator, so they can understand exactly their position, but none of their fucking arguments makes any sense because it's all based on their own personal conjecture and basically their own bigotry. So they can't really argue on anything thus far this past week, whether it's based on me saying how fucking shitty communism is. They're going to go ahead and call me a fascist, a Nazi, fucking right wing proud boy and whatnot. And I'm an anti-federalist. I don't believe in any kind of centralized power, which is against which is against fascism and communism altogether. I believe that more power needs to go back to the states, and there only needs to be a central power to go ahead and deliberate and to the disputes between the states and currency and commerce and shit in this country. That's the only reason that you need a centralized government for. You don't need a centralized government to go ahead and wage some sort of war in a country that's none of our business unless it affects our resources. Then I can understand. But just to willy nilly go ahead and try to take control of all the oil in the Middle East because your dollar's backed by the oil, because you've went ahead and inflated our currency into fucking irrelevance and shit and took us off the gold standard. This just isn't a fucking pragmatic to go ahead and to create any kind of extraordinary genocide against anybody, regardless of the fact of what your position is in life. And so now you have these same people that are trying to go ahead and lecture you. They're going to lecture you. They're going to call you the bigot. They're going to say that you're a danger to society. They're going to say that, but look at your fucking areas. Look at every place that you've governed. Look at your fucking corporations, all these markets that they've put you in control and to give you some sort of authority. Go ahead and look at Disney, like I just said, with your Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and Thunder losing 67% of its audience, only followed by Black Widow, which is another woke a Marvel movie, and Doctor Strange, which I actually like, the Doctor Strange multiverse movie. People are going to start to lose interest. People are starting to lose interest in those movies right now. You've already killed the franchise Star Wars as far as it pertains to box office movie success. Marvel's heading the same way. We've seen what they did with the Ghostbuster franchise, and we can see kind of the movie industry as a whole is starting to collapse because of all this bullshit that they have no creativity. That creativity is no longer in Hollywood anymore. It's spread out across the United States. Nobody wants to go to Hollywood to get raped and to go ahead and have a bunch of hypodermic AIDS infested needles all over the place and fucking feces in the street. Nobody wants to go there. No, it's not the fucking paradise that it once was. And if I do go to California, it's going to be to the fucking mountains. It's not even going to be over there to Southern California or the coastal areas. But yeah, that's basically where we're at right now. And so unfortunately, the media hasn't caught it yet. The Silicon Valley, the social media sites, stuff like this, it goes under. I mean, you're probably reaching that Overton window of the relevance of social media at this point. That's already passed. It's not a thing. And in fact, most of the shit on here is kind of dated. A lot of the stuff that they share on Twitter is memes that we used to share back in 2013. You know what I'm saying? 2012, 2008. A lot of them are rehashed. I've seen a number of my memes that are rehashed just to fit the leftist narrative that they're posting on Twitter. And I'm like, fuck, this is lame. And they don't understand why it doesn't get the same kind of reaction. Well, it's kind of generic. You just ripped this off from, another fucking person that made the meme that I know on Facebook. And you've ripped off his meme, and now you're trying to sit there and post this meme like it's your meme. Here's the original meme right here. Oh, it didn't make no. It makes you look generic. I mean, it's just rehashed bullshit. So I mean, the left is collapsing. The left is collapsing. I don't see, but I do think that unfortunately the pendulum will swing too far to the right. As if you look at the large portion of people that have went to the right or the Bernie Bros. And the Bernie Bros are the most passionate base. I mean, they are very, very passionate. So, I mean, there's a lot of the people that kind of took over the MAGA movement, and this is where we're at as a country right now. I do think that they're going to try to shoehorn in, because it's going to be a last ditch effort. It's a last ditch effort uh, for the um, for the deep state and for the left, the fascists that are in control of the world economy. And the world economy is fascism too. That's just the global economy. Fucking Japan's a fascist economy. All of these economies that are attached to the Federal Reserve Note are fascist economies. And they're having an issue right now. They're having an issue. And I think it's going to be a last ditch Hail Mary to go ahead and put in a Republican by face only and a guy like Mitt Romney, and they're going to try to shoehorn him in. It's a last ditch effort, but it's, he's a proxy of the same shit. You know what I'm saying? To me, Trump is just a proxy of the same shit. Uh, I'm more of a Ron Paul guy who tends to be more of a constitutional libertarian that leans more anti-federalist. Anybody who believes in more states' rights and more state power and less power in DC, going ahead and auditing the government and scrapping a lot of these programs. A number of these programs are irrelevant. Getting rid of taxes and shit like that. That's the person that I'm voting for. And those are the positions I believe in. I don't care about your wage issues. I don't care about your, look at all these shootings and look at all these people that died from the flu. And I don't care about those issues. They're not really those big of an issue. Not right now. Could they be eventually? Yeah. Because I'm totally pretty sure that a lot of the prophecies and revelations will end up being fulfilled. So I do think that these will be issues, but they're not here right now. And the sheer fact that the media is trying to go ahead and push these into society and try to scare the fuck out of everybody in society, it just, you've lost confidence. Media's lost confidence, like I said, only about 10, 11%. And to be honest with you, movie and entertainment have lost. And it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm kind of interested to see where Thor: Love and Thunder will end up being, because if Thor: Love and Thunder, fails to reach, even the success that a Doctor Strange does, then that means that this is going to be a trend going on for the MCU, which, like I said, like comic book movies, don't like comic book movies, it's all good. I don't care. That's not what this is about. This is about the film industry, what I'm talking about. If Thor: Love and Thunder doesn't really, achieve what they expect, then that means that that genre is starting to take a decline. And it's going to be interesting to see how the, entertainment market will salvage itself. You're probably going to see more streaming services, and this is going to be fucking horrendous for any kind of movie theaters because, to be honest with you, I don't see a lot of people, going to movies right now. And certainly if they do go to movies, they don't want to waste $13 for whatever the hell this is that these people that you are putting in power put out. So, I mean, myself included, if I see something that looks like horse shit and it looks like woke garbage, then I'm probably not going to go see a movie for like another month or so. And that's just me. However, that used to be a thing for me, is to go see movies, and now I don't watch them anymore. I don't watch WWE anymore. We can see this being affected in the cable. And then don't tell me that, oh, well, it's because nobody is. First off, if cable was smart, if Time Warner was smart and, Dish Network, they would have already started a streaming fucking app of their own. Instead of doing this stupid network thing, you would have already went the streaming route, and you would probably have kept, lower the cost, and you would have kept more customers. You know what I'm saying? You would keep your customers. You wouldn't have to sit there and harass me on the fucking phone, calling me up saying, oh, well, we've received a notification on your Dish network and you qualify for Dish. No, absolutely fucking not. I don't want it. It's cost too much. And most of the shit I don't watch because it's woke programming. I would have to want to watch WWE. I'd have to want to watch the NFL like I used to want to watch the NFL back in the days when they actually played the game. I'd have to be that interested and that invested. The closest thing that I'm invested to right now is baseball. Of all fucking things, is baseball. And just because the Astros are doing well, you know, a lot of people are saying that that looks fucking fake and rigged. I don't know because I haven't watched baseball in a long time. So I don't know what they're doing. But, I've watched some of the stuff going on here recently, and I'm more interested because I'm keeping up with the Astros. That's the sole reason. But even if the Astros were doing good and it looked like, they're fucking throwing up softballs to the motherfuckers and they're hitting home runs back to back to back to back and it looks fake and scripted, then of course I'm going to be like, nah, I don't want to watch this shit either. Just like the NFL and just like the NBA right now. College football is starting to look like that too. And I used to love watching college football, and college football is starting to look fake. All of them are starting to look fake, and it's just not interesting. I mean, I get it if you're a wrestling fan, you like scripted sports, you can see a potential there. You don't understand why anybody wouldn't like it, but people who play the sport and actually understand the sport. I play basketball, I played football, and I played baseball. And no, I don't want to watch other people pretend to play the game. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so, you might as well watch people play fucking Madden or whatever the hell. But this is where the entertainment industry is heading. This is where politics is heading. And like I said, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez probably got a little outraged at me. And that's fine. Or one of her, sycophants did. Whoever runs her social media account. Her ass kissing sycophant is that I forgot Sykrat Shabardi or whatever the fuck his name is. Whoever runs her Twitter account got pissed at me and decided that they were going to go ahead and attack me with a bunch of shills. It wasn't the first one. Like I said, the communists got pissed at me. The fucking atheists have gotten pissed at me since I've been on Twitter. I'm surprised the atheists haven't gotten me thrown off of Twitter yet. And holy shit, I got to wrap this video up here pretty soon. And yeah, the Democrats stay pissed at me all the time. You know what I'm saying? The Young Turks stay pissed at me. Everybody stays pissed at me. But that's okay. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's just, basically, I don't care. I feed off their animosity, and I know that there isn't I know that they don't have a very long shelf life. To be honest with you, this is all collapsing. People are understanding, and this is starting to cross all spectrums. So, whenever you're only 30% of the population, and the Democrats are not even 30% of the population, I'd probably guess to say that they're probably about 15%. Well, you're pissing off the other 85% of the population. And whenever 85% of the population gets pissed off, well, then it's not going to be good for you. People are talking about civil war, and you know what? It's not going to be a civil war. If that little 15% got that pissed off, then that war would be over pretty fucking quickly. But yeah, this is what happens. It always happens. This is a revolution. They've been sitting there saying, let them eat cake. Well, this is a lot like the French Revolution. And so we know what happened to Marie Antoinette whenever she said, let them eat cake. Well, they got a lot more than fucking cake, I guess. But and that seems to be where this is happening. And it's going to be a reverse French Revolution. This is just what I see. This is what I see potentially happening if these systems keep to crumble, if they keep losing the confidence of their base, and everybody they alienate every other base. I mean, right now they don't have anybody that would really be able to advocate on them on any meaningful platform, because anybody that would probably advocate for their due process would be people like myself, people like Doctor of Common Sense, the people that were pragmatists whenever they came on here and were trying to go ahead and criticize people for being Christians and being, bigoted and racist and whatnot. I'm not talking about the extremist and motherfucking. Those people are allowed the platform. Those people are allowed to be here. Those people that stir the shit and, get on and try to incite civil war. Those people are always entitled to platform. Those people will be the ones that are in charge, and then they'll be the ones demanding that, these people be oppressed and be, but what's going to happen is you've already silenced most of our voices. I'm on my backup channel right now. This is my second Facebook channel, my third YouTube or Twitter channel. This is my actually my second. The Prodigal Hill was actually my third YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. And So I meant, yeah, and you've gotten rid of my bigger channel, and so now now you're not going to have anybody that could advocate for you on any kind of meaningful platform. It's just going to be that easy. And yeah, I do think it's going to turn into like a theocracy, but this is written in the Bible as well. The Bible that they don't understand, but they'll oftentimes criticize and call us a holy roller and say how, oh yeah, you really think no, no, no. So I mean, this is going to be interesting. And like I said, sure, little charades like this that AOC and Elon Omar are trying to pull for a little bit of clout. I think it's actually having the reverse effect. I don't even know if a lot of you people even heard about AOC getting arrested or not. And I don't. I think maybe the mainstream media was a little timid. I did see articles about it, but nobody's sharing the shit on Facebook. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about the shit outside of Facebook. At my job and various other places that I do go, nobody cares. Nobody's sitting there talking about it. So it seems to be a thing of the past. And so they have no more fucking influence. So it's going to be interesting to see how they try to communicate, particularly whenever they've already, suspended, given people strikes, uh, terminated people's accounts and whatnot. How they're going to sit there and push another fucking lockdown and all these other propagandas whenever people are no longer on these sites because they were labeled this or they were labeled that. People are just going to sit there and walk into a fucking store, and whenever people say, oh, we got a mandate, well, I don't know, but I'm here to do some shopping because I haven't heard anything. Because guess what? I've been suspended from Twitter, or I've been suspended from Facebook. I follow the news. I don't watch the news. I don't watch it. The only time I got my news was on social media, and guess what? I'm not on social media, so I don't care what happens on the news. I don't listen to the radio neither. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up because StreamYard has eaten up my phone yet again. So, I just figured I'd go ahead and do a video just to have some content up, do a little AOC video, just to have I don't know, a few newer videos on this channel. Because I haven't been using this channel that long. And to have something up on, Twitter and in Facebook. So anyways, you people tell me what you think. You like, sub, follow, friend, whatever. Do the shit these little social media Silicon Valley authoritarians tell me to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.